I really, really, really just love who I am. Girl, don't do it. Hey double majors, welcome back to my channel. What's poppin', what's poppin', what's poppington? If you're new here, welcome. My name is Brelynn, and as you guys know, this year I turned 23 years old. Yay! How years older than me? I'm over it. But before the month was over, I asked you guys what kind of videos you wanted to see on my channel, and a lot of you suggested I do the video called 23 things that I learned at 23. So since today is the last day of July, I figured I would share this with you guys in order to close out vlogathon. So without further ado, I don't want this video to be too long. I just want to kind of give you guys a gist of like where my headspace is now that I'm 23, the kind of things that I've learned only in this past year, but all my years leading up to this one. So let's go ahead and get started. Number one on my list, I have that getting denied from colleges, professional schools, or graduate schools do not define your worth. I feel like that is so important for people in our age to hear. 2 days before my 22nd birthday, I got accepted into my master's program that I'm currently in. And that was a really big lesson that I learned like right before my 22nd birthday. So I guess it would really be something that I learned before 22, but it was something that really stuck with me throughout my 22nd year going into my 23rd year of life. And it's really just that you have to have faith in your plan. You have to have faith that God hears you and that your hard work is all going to mesh together in order for you to be where you want to be when it's time for you to be there. And so I was so nervous. I talk about this a lot on my channel, but I was so nervous that I wasn't going to get into a graduate school. I did not get accepted to every school that I applied to, and for a while I was like, oh my gosh, like I suck. I felt so stupid. At the time, I felt so stupid, but that's literally the furthest thing from true. And so I had to learn the lesson that acceptance letters did not define my worth. Whether or not I was going to medical school or not did not mean that I was smart or not smart. Whether or not I got into graduate school or not did not mean that I was smart or not smart. Whether I even went to college or not did not define whether or not I was smart or not smart. While I was waiting for my acceptances, I really had to push myself into a positive mindset, and sometimes I still lose it, but for the most part, it's something that I really did learn leading up to my 23rd year, and it's a really big lesson that I want to share with you all. Okay, number two. I wrote this like a week and a half ago, so it's actually kind of funny to read back these things and hear, okay, what was I thinking? Why did I feel like this was important to be part of the big 23? But my second one is that I still have a lot of work to do controlling my impulse emotions. If you guys know me, I'm very passionate in everything that I do, and yeah, you know, I think that self-control needs to be a big word for me going into like my new year. So I really want to work on just controlling my emotions, because when I'm happy, I'm at a 10, and when I'm mad, I'm at a 10, and when I'm sad, I'm at a 10. Like, I'm always just at a 10, and sometimes I just need to level myself out a little bit, especially when I don't allow myself to experience my emotions. I need to take more time to really just think about how I'm feeling and feel it in the moment, and not like just act on it impulsively. Number three, which really relates to the first item on my list, is that faith is a skill that must continuously be worked on in order to remain strong. Again, when I was graduating college, I had to literally go into this new area of my life being happy that I had accomplished this amazing thing without knowing where I was going next. And that was very, very hard for me. I'm pretty sure it's hard for a lot of people, especially if you're type A and you want to know where you're going and people are asking you and you literally have no idea, but you have to have faith that things are going to work out. So I went through this big hump, and then finally when I got my acceptance letter, I was like, oh, God is so good, hallelujah, glory be to God. I knew he was going to do it. But then I got into graduate school, and now things are happening again, and it's like I have to reteach myself that lesson. Like, if he did it before, hey.
Over here, let me hear you.
He could do it again. I have to like reteach myself these lessons. So yeah, I realized that I continuously have to work towards my faith in God and my faith in myself. I just can't say, okay, yes, I've learned my lesson on faith and it's gonna remain strong throughout it. It's like a muscle. If you continuously work on it, it will grow strong. But if you let it be, it'll get weak, and then you'll have to go ahead and build that up again. Also something that I've learned in my 23 years. Number 4 is patience is one of my weakest godly fruits. Going into the year of 2019, one of my personal New Year's resolutions was to work on truly being a woman who represented the fruits of the spirit. Love, joy, kindness, patience, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control. I really was like, oh girl, out of all of those, your patience. You really gotta work on your patience. And I think that the first step is realizing, okay, this is the fruit that I am the weakest in, and being conscious about it. So then moving forward, it's all kind of work on each other. Like being patient and having faith, like they go hand in hand. Also being patient will allow you to not be impulsive. So just again, knowing myself and knowing like that's something that I have to work on. It's something that I've learned in the past 23 years. Number 5 is that graduate school requires a lot of undivided attention. I talked about this in a previous vlog, like when I kind of gave you guys my life update. But yeah, y'all, graduate school is not easy. I really wish I could say that it was easier. I wish I could say you could finesse through it, but you can't. It's really hard, and you really have to give your undivided attention to it. And that's not something that you're gonna know unless you experience it yourself. And now that I've completed my first year of graduate school, I know, okay, anything from here on out is going to be super hard, and I just have to give it my all if I want to be successful and do well. So, okay, number 6 was that I don't diminish my personality when I'm in a predominantly white space. So again, if you guys don't know, I'm in graduate school right now receiving my master's in physiology at North Carolina State University, which is a predominantly white institution. This is only the second and the longest time that I've ever been in a predominantly white space like this. And so it was a little bit uncomfortable for me, but something that I've learned about myself is that I won't diminish my blackness. Like I really just love who I am. I think that when I first got to school, I was nervous. I was like, I don't want to not act like myself. I don't want to not be myself because I'm around people who I'm not used to being around. But I realized that like that's not a problem for me. So I'm really happy that I have that characteristic to be myself no matter who I'm around. Next up, I enjoy alone time and having my own space. I don't know if I just learned this past year or again just in my 23 years of life, but of course, you guys know I'm super outgoing, but I'm a little bit of an ambivert, to be honest, because I love my alone time. If I'm around people too much, I kind of get drained, and when I'm alone and I can be in my own space, in my own bed, like I really have the best time ever. I don't have to be around other people to feel good, to have a good time. I can have a good time by myself, and I actually enjoy being by myself a lot of the time. So I know that's something that a lot of people can't do, but I can, and I love that about myself, and I learned that about myself at such a young age. Number 8 is that I am better at expressing myself when I write out what I am trying to say. So this past year, November, I created my own blog, Beauty and Brains blog. It's on my website if you guys don't know, beautyandbrainsapparel.com. Even though I haven't published that many pieces, I actually write a lot. It's something that just kind of really helps me get the things in my head out on paper, and sometimes I really can't express it through my mouth like I can on paper, and that's something that I realize will really help me out if I'm feeling some type of way or if I'm thinking something, and if things aren't making sense, if I write it down, it'll really make me feel better. So if you guys feels like they have a really hard time expressing themselves in words sometimes when it comes to certain things, try writing out what you're thinking or how you're feeling, because that may help you out like how it's helped me out.
The new Beauty and Brains apparel collection is B Squared. Stemming from the Miss National Harbor Social Impact Initiative, B Squared is empowering through beauty and brains. Rock the B Squared logo in your favorite color or the original rose gold only at beautyandbrainsapparel.com. Now you can show that you are fearless when chasing your wildest dream in any color you'd like. Be sure to check out our summer exclusive crop tops and visors featuring the fearless design. Don't be afraid to do the unthinkable, and never be afraid to be squared. Shop now at beautyandbrainsapparel.com.
However, my next thing, number 9, is that everything that I express in writing doesn't have to be published to the public. So once again, I have a blog. Something about writing for me just feels very vulnerable. When I'm writing, stuff just comes straight from the head and from the heart, and something about publishing a blog post that just like makes my heart beat differently than when I just post a video online or even just a picture on Instagram. And so with having my blog this past year, I've definitely learned that I need to be more careful about exactly what I publish, because even though some things are better written, doesn't mean that they're better read. Some things are better said, some things are better to not be said at all. So that's something that I've learned in this past year. It's just something that comes with growing and maturing. Also, piggybacking off of that, number 10 is that I will get nervous about every important piece of art that I express to the world if it really means something to me. Again, I really can't express the feeling that I get when you're about to press publish on a video where you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what people are gonna say when they see this, or a blog post or an Instagram picture. Like, something about it, I just know that when I truly take my time into something, or if I feel some type of way about something, sometimes that feeling means, girl, don't do it. And sometimes it means, wow, you really care a lot about this, you really put a lot of your heart and your soul into it, and that's kind of the fun about art. So I'm really still trying to learn how to decipher those feelings and how to say, okay, maybe this feeling means that this piece of art is a little bit too vulnerable for me and I shouldn't be sharing it. Or, you know what, I feel so vulnerable sharing this piece of art that when people love it, it's gonna really mean something to me. I really haven't figured out those feelings yet, and I hope that by 24 I do, but as of 23, I have not. Number 11 is that I am sometimes a better friend than I force myself to receive from other people. You guys hear me talking about friends a lot because, like I say all the time, friends are my family to me. I love having good friends and I love being a good friend. So I will always be a good friend as much as I possibly know how. But that doesn't mean that everybody around me, even if they're a good person, that doesn't mean that they know how to be a good friend to me. And sometimes I don't give myself enough credit for how amazing of a friend that I am. And I allow people who I consider to be my friends to treat me in a way that friends should not treat me, and that's not okay, and it's something that I've learned in my 23rd year. Next up, number 12, I withhold and suppress negative past experiences when I think that there is no change or proper acceptance that can be done. Me and my sisters were talking about this. That's something that it had to be brought to my appearance. I really beat myself up on things that are in the past and that I cannot change. Like, past experiences are exactly what they are in the past. So I now know that it is not healthy and it is not positive to suppress those feelings and those emotions, because they will just constantly be brought back up, and I just torture myself and punish myself over and over and over again. And I didn't realize that I was really doing it. I really couldn't put my actions into words, but now that I have, I can make strides into not doing that anymore and moving into a more healing direction. Next up, number 13, is that I don't have to wear heels every day or makeup to exude my Barbie vibe. So obviously this is something that I've learned my past year going to a predominantly white institution where #PWI life, nobody dresses up ever. And it's really annoying for me because I'm just like, how are people supposed to know that I'm a Barbie if I'm wearing sweatpants every day? But honestly, I don't have to have my hair done at all times or have a full face of makeup or wear heels every day to class for people to get that vibe from me. It's really an aura that I possess on the inside that gives out that vibe, and not even really what I look like on the outside. And I think that it took this past year not for me to be comfortable not wearing makeup, because I've always loved myself without makeup, but it's a different type of confidence that I've received this past year. Like, wow, I can still get that vibe even without this. Not, oh, thank God I don't need this anymore. Does that make sense? I know this is very specific and particular to me, but maybe for you guys, again, just know that as you get older, you'll grow more comfortable into who you really are, and physical appearances won't really matter as much to you. Number 14 is running a business is a lot of hard work. As I mentioned, I have my own apparel line, Beauty and Brains Apparel. It took me forever to finally release Beauty and Brains Apparel. It was really hard balancing it along with my YouTube channel and being a graduate student. And honestly, it's still very hard. I feel like whenever I'm ready to come out with a new collection, I take like 3 days and shut myself into my room, and I'm working and I'm brainstorming and I'm fixing things on my computer and trying to be a graphic designer. And it's honestly, it's a lot, especially for it to be a one-woman show. Not to say that it's impossible, but now that I'm actually a business owner, I do know, like, okay, this is hard. Number 15 is that starting over in a new city can teach you a lot about yourself. I feel like I've touched on this a lot, not only in today's videos, but ones that I filmed in the past. And even though I went through a period of time where I was like, I don't want to be in Raleigh, Raleigh sucks, and again, I don't love it there, I'm learning a lot about myself because I'm really just in a space where I'm by myself, and I'm realizing I don't like to live in predominantly white spaces. I don't like to live in super rural spaces. I don't like this. I don't like this. I do like this. I do like that. So being alone in this new city where I didn't know anybody was actually really healthy for me, because it helped me get to know myself a little bit more. And I'm scared, but I'm excited to see what I'm gonna learn this year coming up as well. Number 16 is that it's fun to document fun times, but unforgettable moments don't have to be recorded. And that basically just comes down to like everything doesn't have to be on the vlog. Everything doesn't have to be vlogged. I hate feeling like I don't have enough content for you guys, or having to recap something where I'm like, I wish you guys could see it in my mind, like it was so great. But sometimes you just have to leave it at that, just a good time with your friends. There are a lot of great moments that I've had this year that I have not recorded, but that doesn't mean that I've forgotten them all. Some of them I have, and some of them I wish I could relive through video, but not all of them. So it's really a matter of picking and choosing when's the best time to record and when's the best time to live in the moment. Number 17 is that the internet only determines your self-value if you allow it to, / you can choose what value you see in it. So I feel like in the past 2 years, you guys know that I try and be a positive vessel, and I specifically try and be one on social media. And I think that in this past couple of years, I tried to make sure that not only am I a positive influence, but also that I am following positive people. And it's really made my experience on social media better, because I no longer feel like this immediate pressure to be on social media. It's actually something that I find to be fun and uplifting and encouraging and motivating, because I follow people who are uplifting and inspiring and encouraging and motivating. So if you guys feel like social media is not a positive space for you, I suggest that you change who you follow and you change what you post. If you don't know where to start off following people who are positive and who inspire you, you can of course start by following me at BrelynnBarbie on Instagram. Had to put a shameless plug in there. Number 18 is that my life's purpose is to inspire, encourage, and empower other women. It's actually kind of crazy, because I remember doing a Chit Chat Get Ready With Me and like saying it out loud, and then watching it back and being like, while I was editing, and being like, that's actually the best way that I can ever describe like how I truly feel. Then winning my local title in the Miss Maryland organization this past year, and then creating my high school B² workshop, I actually was able to write it down into steps and actually help other people hopefully discover their own life purpose and passion. And by doing that, by first putting into words and then putting into action, I really have found like this is what I love to do, and I am super, super, super happy about it, because you guys know there's nothing that describes that feeling of doing what you know that you were called to do. Number 19 is that I will have to work hard for any and everything that I receive. You've heard me say it once, twice, 3 times. I say this all the time, because I think that some people sometimes assume that everything is handed to me, or that I just get really lucky. I'm not lucky, I'm blessed. Yes, everything that I have is either given to me by him up there, or I've worked so hard for it. But I appreciate everything that I have so much, because I earn everything that I have. So it's something that I used to be mad about, like how come things can't come easy to me? Why does it always have to be me? But now I'm just like, you know what? I earn everything that I get, and so I'm gonna earn this thing and this thing and that thing, and when I do, I'm gonna be so proud of myself, because then I can say that I did this for me, or of course he did it for me. Sorry for my setup changed a little bit, my camera battery died, but we're back. Number 20 is that it is not my job to make other people like me or dislike me. It is my job to be authentic to myself. And this is something that I don't even, honestly, this may be one of my favorite things that I've learned this year. I went through like this huge like full circle shift where I was always unapologetically myself, and then I kind of got into this space where I was just in my head, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like I'm making people feel uncomfortable, and I'm making people dislike me because, and then I realized like, wait a minute, that is not my problem.
That is not my job.
That is not my problem.
That is not my job. You don't do it right.
I can't be surrounded by people who lack self-confidence and who want me to diminish my light for them. The right people who are supposed to be around me will be around me. They won't be intimidated by me, and they won't hate me because I am who I am. And they definitely won't try to change me. So it's a really big full circle moment that I went through this year. I really don't know how it started or how it ended. I definitely feel this shift in my life, and it's something that I've learned about myself in these past 23 years. Number 21 is that making a conscious effort to include God in my everyday life is more difficult than it seems, good and bad times. Again, you guys have heard me talk about this before in a Chit Chat Ready With Me video, how I really just want to make God first, and I say that and then my actions don't follow up. And honestly, I can't say that I'm one of those people where it's like, oh, when things are going good, I praise him, and when things are going bad, I don't. Sometimes when things are going bad, I'm like, God, Jesus, I know that I know. And then when things are going good, I'm just like, And sometimes it's vice versa. I kind of have no rhyme to my reason, and that's what makes it even worse. Like, I just have to make a more conscious effort. I know this about myself, but again, this past year I really learned like it is hard to make a conscious effort, but I will definitely keep working towards it for as long as I live. Number 22, something that we have learned this past month. Again, it didn't really click to me until I was with Morgan and we had our little mukbang in the car, and she asked me this question, and then I really told myself, what the heck are you doing? Do you hate yourself? You don't give yourself enough time to relax, and you're burning yourself out. And you can't be mad at anybody but yourself when you're tired, when you don't give yourself enough time to relax. So my number 22 is that I don't give myself enough time to rest in between dreaming, reaching goals, working hard, and having fun. That's what everybody wants to do in life. Reach for your dreams, have fun, work hard, be successful, but there has to be some rest in between there. And this year I'm really gonna do better at giving myself time to rest. All right, you guys, and number 23 is that my self-confidence can be extremely intimidating to people around me, and at times it can make other people feel insecure. I must be careful about who I allow in my personal space, because insecurity can breed jealousy, hatred, and other negative impacts on my life. I know that was a lot, but that is really the biggest thing that I've learned this year. It started off with me beating myself up about it, but in the end, it really is about who I keep around me. If I'm not careful, I will have people in my life who will drain me and who will make me feel bad about myself for just being myself. I have amazing qualities about myself, if I do say so myself. And if the people who I'm leaning on and who I have around me are not secure in themselves, they will be insecure when they are around me. I know that it may sound very conceited to say, but if you guys know what I'm talking about, or if you have experienced this before, please comment it down below, because I would love to hear how you have grown through this. But for anybody who feels like you may be in the middle of this, once again, be picky with the people who you have around you, and never be afraid to be unapologetically yourself. All right, you guys, I don't know how long this video is. Hopefully I can edit it to make it a little bit entertaining. I feel like it's been a while since I've done like a sit down video like this. But if you enjoyed it, or if you learned something, or just like to hear me talk, please give me a thumbs up. If you're not already, subscribe to my channel. If you're new here, check out my apparel line, BrelynnBarbie.com. I want you guys to leave your back to school video ideas in the comments down below. It may take me a minute to get there, because as of today, I'm officially on YouTube break. But I'm letting you guys know I love you so much. Thank you for all of your love and support, especially throughout this month with Vlogathon. Thank you for all of your birthday wishes. I'm so excited for you guys to see all that is in store for me in my 23rd year of life. And I think that's it. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Make sure you live each day to the fullest, because you only live once. Bye.
Join the movement and shop at BeautyandBrainsApparel.com. We have hoodies, crop sweaters, crew necks, long sleeve shirts, and a variety of short sleeve shirts in multiple colors. Don't forget our dad hats in various colors and colorways. Shop the Beauty and Brains Classic Collections now at BeautyandBrainsApparel.com.
1, 2, 3,